Josh Brochman, and today we're back again with another video. This is going to be, as you see my People Champ Rock shirt, I will be streaming WrestleMania today and tomorrow, doing like a live watch along. Obviously, I can't show the video while I'm watching, but you know, I got the, what's it called? The kickoff show playing in the background of the TV. But anyway, saw a video to react to of John Cena. He did a little interview, ESPN, with good old DC Daniel Cormier. John Cena reflects on his final WrestleMania and chasing historic 17th world title. Figured I'd give y'all this video. I was deciding whether or not, you know, they doing WrestleMania press a little bit. So I was like, you know what, let me do at least one. Other than what I did with Stone Cold reaction video. Check that out from the Pat McAfee show. Other than that, I was like, I could do this right here. But anyway, I don't know how many people going to watch this. But, because, like I said, everybody going to be so into WrestleMania like I am right now. But since it is Cena, has to do WrestleMania. Let's do this thing. Let's get it.
I'm sitting right here.
Yes.
And I said, when John comes out, are you going to say, John Cena?
Wait, what you say?
So my son's sitting right here.
Oh.
Yes.
And I said, when John
Yes.
comes out, are you going to say, John Cena sucks? He goes, that would be like me rooting against the New Orleans Saints. He's my GOAT. He had one of the life-size plastic ones, and I hear rumbling going on in his room, and it was this dude getting pinned by you. He was putting you over by himself in his room. I'm like, did you
He understands.
win? He's like, no, Cena got me.
Nothing wrong with finishing second place.
Like, this dude is losing to you.
I don't know
in
why
his
my audio just sounded like it's freaking.
So yeah, I just wanted to tell you that story
right.
and embarrass my kid. Hey, thank you so much
Audio
for joining
is,
us.
thanks so
One of
much.
the greatest of all time.
transferring and things.
My first question to you is, WrestleMania has been such a massive part of your career from the very start, right?
Of course.
How do they feel now, right? Especially as we know this is the last one. Like, how are you approaching this one?
It really
as you
is,
approach
bro.
the others?
It's kind of wild because, you know, for like I said before, childhood GOAT right here. You know, when I was a kid, I felt this guy was the greatest. Loved this guy. Massive Cena fan when I was a kid. So to see somebody I grew up on retiring is freaking crazy. It's insane, man. The main guy, man, when I was watching.
That's an interesting question. And I don't want to devalue WrestleMania, but I will say that the WWE moves at a pace that's very different from any other entity of live performance,
Yep.
sport, or live entertainment.
No doubt.
Even a massive concert has like a 3-day load in. They do their show, they load out 3 or 4 days to get to the next town. We have Monday Night Raw the next night.
Yeah.
So
you come off that. Imagine coming off this massive event, and then it's like, because, you know, 2 nights, so it's going to be on Sunday as well. Imagine coming off this massive night, and now you back to having Monday Night Raw.
I think
It's freaking crazy how to be
over the
on.
years, I've just tried to do the best I can to make sure that awareness is the highest it can be for the event. And you just do your best to try to get as many eyes on that Sunday as you can.
Yeah, of course.
And you have very little time to enjoy what I and a close
Yeah, we're
circle of
already at
friends call the
WrestleMania,
cool
bro.
of the evening.
Crazy.
Because it's like you're back on the field the next day.
Yep.
It's
Gonna
beautiful,
get time to cool
but it's
down,
also
essentially.
it's difficult at times because you immediately have to think about, well, what do we do tomorrow?
Because I'm thinking of it like this. Imagine you just became Super Bowl champion. It's not like you got a game the next day. Like, after you just won this massive award. Like, they get time to chill out, calm down, season's over with or whatever. And then they can get back on it. They got to get back on it, like, the next day. Like, I can understand why it's like, God done. That is a fast freaking pace to move it. And you essentially do not have, like, any real time to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
Tomorrow is legitimately tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of the greatest things of sport, right? Where you get to kind of bask in what you've done.
Oh,
And I
bask
say
in
this
the
constantly.
glory.
One of my biggest regrets is, like, if I won a championship, by Monday I'm like, let's get to the next thing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys have no choice but to get to
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
it's not. Let's begin camp to train for the next opponent.
Yeah.
We go on tomorrow. At
The
8.
way-week training
What
camp.
time's it now? Oh, it's midnight.
The time is now.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Right. No doubt.
I do enjoy that because I don't think it harbors complacency. I still believe in this. It was when I was more full time. I would always say, "You're only as good as your next one,"
Yeah.
and the common
growing
saying
and
is, "You're
getting
only
better."
as good as your last one." But our audience, they do. It's weird. They remember and romanticize eras, matches, moments, but they're also very eager to see what's next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, like, you're only as good as what you do tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you just slayed last night, good for you, but you're only as good as what you do tomorrow. So let's start working on that right now.
Yeah.
You know, you're a guy that's always done
Heck yeah, man.
what's best for business. I remember watching you in Los Angeles. You come out and you lost to Austin Theory. But on Sunday, you're back where you belong. You're in the main event, right? You're fighting for a world championship.
Last main event, last
Can you
WrestleMania,
appreciate
man.
that you're back in that spot, main event John Cena, the guy that carries the show, like you've done on so many occasions?
Well,
You made fun of it. You go, I haven't won a match in years. You're like,
but so I think there's a lot there. No one does
Lot to
this
unpack
alone.
here. Oh yeah, I am Team Cena. Repping Team Cena. I'm gonna be wearing the shirt. I got the Rock shirt on. Because I want to wear a different wrestling shirt. Because then on Sunday I'm gonna wear the Cena shirt that's down here. And yeah, we're gonna be rooting Team Cena, man. I'm sorry, bro. Cody, we love you, but bro, Big Bro John, Big Match John, bro, you gotta get a job done, bro. World breaking title record setting number 17, bro. Come on, man. No other way to go, bro. I'm sorry. All right, back. We're back.
So I'm not sure I agree with you're the one who like carries everything because I just have a
Group
different
effort,
philosophy
you know?
yeah.
of the structure of things. And
But being the main thing, though, is crazy.
what I was trying to do
Great to be back in that spot.
is state facts. And
I ain't gonna lie, it takes a lot of likability from a person as well to get you in that spot where people want to see you. Like that goes to show you how not only good Cena is as a talent, but how big of a star he ended up becoming. Because now people want to see him beat Cody. Like you usually be like some people usually be like, oh, these old timers come back. You know, it's time for the now, and you know, let Cody win or whatever. But nah, people are like, no, we want Cena to freaking win this match. That's how good, and I feel it ruins the success of his heel turn if he doesn't win the title. I feel like this kind of ruins the moment. It takes away that momentum that they could build on. You know,
me being honest with my record
Yeah.
basically led me to be like, I got to retire. The reason I hadn't had a
Telling
lot
that
of
story.
success in the WWE is because I'm a part-time participant. This needs to consume your life to be great. And not only consume your life, but like you really have to be curious, passionate, open, humble.
of course, we're always on.
This is Google Pixel 9a
always
with Gemini.
humble.
It's free at Verizon, with plans starting at $30 a line. And this is Nicole asking, where the heck are you? And Gemini helping you respond in the style of Shakespeare. Get Google Pixel 9a on us and our new 3-year price lock guarantee with plans starting at $30 a line.
Man, I can only imagine that if you are not fully focused, coachable, and 100% involved in fight training,
It's not working.
probably.
It's not
Yeah,
gonna
you're
work.
gonna get your head knocked off.
It's not gonna work, bro.
Or hurt.
In me trying to split time and thinking that I
Yeah.
can do both. I just did this a lot less and less, and was
then,
used
better,
accordingly. Like as
You're
you
a current
as you are
athlete,
ushered on the way out,
type of thing.
you're supposed to build all this energy and then give it away. That's the cycle of life in sports entertainment. If you leave with the energy, you have robbed the business.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Excuse me, sorry.
me saying this over and over again is like, man, I haven't won a match since this.
Yeah. It was like
48
televised
next
singles
week.
match since
So it's
2018
like,
or
oh,
something
man,
like
it's time
that,
to
which is
retire.
freaking insane.
And that's when I was like, I'd like to do this farewell tour.
Yeah.
You know, you spoke about
Cena, you know, it's funny because Cena was saying on his promo that no one's ever done like a retirement like this. I feel like Cena would perfectly fit somebody who would retire this way.
doing less here, but man, you do so much more there, right? There's a difference though. Doing commentary for
Ooh,
me,
got a little
as
less
an
than an
active
hour
fighter,
on my time
was
recording
fun,
till
but I always
WrestleMania.
had that
Or
thing.
about to
I always
be,
can go back
less
to
than
the
an hour.
octagon and I can go fight. There's a
Oh,
life.
it's about to be an hour. Done.
Have you looked at that? Because I see you on like Today Show, like you're doing so much voice work. You have been tremendous outside of the WWE. But have you thought about what life looks like when there is no more WWE as we are on your farewell world
I
tour?
think we
Because
know
you
what
have to
he's
accept
doing
that life
after,
now changes because now you're just that personality
Yes,
in the media
he's
world
kinda
where you are
gonna be
also a
forced to-
giant.
Well,
move on. That's one of
thank
the
you
things, you
for all that. So I've had a whole lot of time to think about this. I kind of weaned off a full-time schedule in 2017. It's 2025, so we're talking over a half decade to contemplate like, oh man, this is kind of where it's at. I also made a cemented promise, even in my 20s, to the audience, When I am a step slow, I am out the door. Like,
Damn.
understand when your run is over and just bow out
Basically
gracefully.
saying, understand
And I
when your
feel
time
like
is
I'm
up.
a step slow. Like, I'm there. No,
You're still good, man. You got to be. You're
really-
still good, man. I'm telling
I
you.
really appreciate that, but I think a lot.
No, we're still enjoying John Cena, man. You know, like, is it maybe as it once was, maybe not, but I feel like people take that as like an insult. Like, if you don't perform the way you used to perform, that's always an insult. It's like, bro, that's kind of natural. Like, it's kind of natural that you probably not gonna be taking certain bumps or doing the same thing, or if you do it still, it's a lot more rare. Like, I don't think that's like a thing that anybody should be ashamed of, to me, if you ask me.
Combination of what you see.
Obviously, yeah, get out the door
in my
when you
20s,
feel like
it
it's
was
time, but
strength and
you know.
enthusiasm, and then wisdom starts to creep up.
Yeah.
And then the graph starts to do this. And my enthusiasm is still high, but my athleticism and effort is, and now it's like all wisdom, you know, and you can only use those mental gymnastics so much. If you look at the performers today, it is extremely
it's
physically
freaking-
demanding.
yeah.
And I just, I don't
Freaking
ever
nuts.
want somebody to buy a ticket and feel robbed. That's all.
Well, Sunday night, right?
Yeah.
Let's get to the match. Let's get to the fight because that's what.
Brandon Cena didn't do a whole lot of moves in his day anyway, so it's not
Overall,
like he's
right?
doing anything. He has to do
You and
anything
Cody
drastically
Rhodes.
different.
I, as a fan of this thing, right? I've watched it my whole career. I've always enjoyed watching you. When you said it's the retirement tour, I could have seen last WrestleMania, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, maybe The Rock, or one of those guys come back. Never would have thought, right? The guy that when you were running hot, when you were the man, he was a mid-card guy. Did you ever think that Cody Rhodes would be a guy that you would compete against in your last WrestleMania for a chance to become the most successful world champion of all time?
So that's a great question, and I think it speaks to the unpredictability of WWE.
Yeah.
I'm
One of those
then
now how you
again,
start, how
I'm
you
making a
finish
blanket
some things.
statement and an assumption about fighting, of which I know
Yep.
very little about. But my blanket statement is, most likely you can spot the potential
Of a guy.
of a great fighter far before their peak.
Yeah.
WWE's different, and I think that's what makes it fun. Like,
Yeah.
had you
Paths
asked
could be so
Triple H,
basically, if you think about it, John Cena and Cody Rhodes, I mean, that path was so parallel, and at one point in time, like, you wouldn't have been interested in it, but now that Cody's, built himself up and gotten himself over, putting the ground time, work, and effort to get to where he's at, and to get the skills he has now, yeah, it's just crazy how a match can draw money as time goes on and as you get better and as they, level you up the card and you just level up skill wise. It's crazy how, like, now certain matches are way bigger than what they looked like, 10 plus years ago.
like, hey man, did you ever think you would be going against that guy you almost fired in
Yeah.
WrestleMania at Chicago?
You're right.
Like, I'm the last pick. I'm the guy who almost got fired. I'm the guy who should not be here. I'm the happy accident.
Type shit.
And
Type
here
shit.
we are almost 25 years later reflecting on that story. It's not what's beautiful about sports entertainment.
Sports
is,
and
yes,
entertainment.
rubber needs to hit road. You need
Yeah.
to have the fundamental skills and you need to have the athletic ability to perform in the ring. But it's also kind of up to them.
Yeah.
Like, they can take
Yeah.
a mistake and make it a success.
Yeah.
And as long as you are brave enough to ride the lightning, you got a chance.
Ride the lightning bolt.
So it's
That's
an
another term I'm probably going to coin throughout videos, riding the lightning bolt.
interesting
No
question, but I think a lot of
cap. The energy,
history-
man.
stunning Steve Austin
Yeah, you remember that?
wasn't really doing much
No, he wasn't.
until he became Stone Cold.
Shaved
And,
his head.
and even then, when he was Stone Cold, it was kind of like
Yeah.
ambiguous.
Yeah,
Until he said Austin
and,
3
Stone Cold, obviously that didn't start off as like the biggest thing in wrestling. They had to have time to marinate and people to get used to what that was. And then it became a freaking, freaking massive
He
success.
just whipped your ass.
Yeah.
And now we're off to the races.
Yeah.
Rocky Maivia,
Yeah.
booed out of every building, and not the good type of booed. So it's like, what are we going to do with
Of course,
this
man.
guy?
People's
And you can
champ.
see
The
from
GOAT.
face value, wow, he's
Got something.
former football player, he's an athlete, man, he's taken to the business, but it's just not working.
Mm-hmm.
And then, by a happy accident, he finds his way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have an opportunity to become a 17-time world champion. And
It's funny. He technically didn't answer the question, but
I, for one, and obviously my son, we're rooting for you to get it done this weekend. How important it is for you, for your legacy, to cement yourself as the greatest champion in the history of wrestling?
To be
Again,
multi-time
very good
world
question.
To be the record.
I'm not sure if I look at it like that.
To be the most. Well, I guess you could say most successful superstar in the WWE. That actually wouldn't be a bad statement to say that Cena would probably be the most successful. God done. Who else won a world title 16, 17, potential 17 times? Like, no cap.
So I've wanted to talk to you for a long time. And now talking to you, your perspective is so much different than I thought it would be. Because you're like, I'm not sure. I look at it like so much different. So I've wanted to talk
like that.
There we go. That's what we was at. God damn, the ad made me skip stuff.
I've wanted to talk to you for a long time. And now talking to you, your perspective is so much different than I thought it would be. Because you're like, I'm not sure. I look at it like that. But you're on the verge of being the greatest of all time. And you've called yourself the greatest of all time. And now it's happening.
Okay. I made a statement
Okay.
in a press conference after the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And I said the reason I think winning 17 is best for business is so I can shake the person's hand that wins 18. So I don't, when you say like, hey man, what does it feel to be the greatest of all time? I'm just trying to show that nothing is impossible.
Yeah.
I'm trying to show that 750.
He's still trying to be the leading example, you know what I'm saying? But now he's doing it by, nefarious, I guess you could say by interesting, let's say that, interesting ways, but
Seems like
still
a
doing his
mythical
thing. So
number
technically he hasn't
until
lied about his
716.
character.
Somebody's going to come
That a sub 4 minute mile seems like it'll never happen until it's broken, and then it's broken like 6 more times.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll break it down. I'm thinking like, who in the world would they ever trust to hold the main prize or top prize that many times again? Like, we get Flair, of course, throughout his career. Cena, obviously, Triple H and Randy Orton have multiple world titles to their name. So hell, Orton wrestling for 5+ more years, he could technically do it. But yeah. So I guess we do got some runner-ups with Randy Orton probably being the only closest.
Yeah.
And
The only
now
other close
there's
one.
a legitimate chance. But it's simply just a benchmark for future generations to be like,
I'm going to go get
passing that guy.
Yeah.
Set a bar so that somebody wants to raise
I
it.
look at it.
Yeah.
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 And often
bar.
in sports entertainment, we talk about success in terms of, financial success or
Money drawing
WrestleMania main events. The same could be said about Roman Reigns' 1,000+ day title reign.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the modern
Most
era,
definitely.
how can something like that happen?
It doesn't seem possible.
But I hope there is a talent at NXT or a young talent in Raw or SmackDown that's like, chalk me
Somebody
up
we
for
don't even know
2,000
yet.
days, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah,
That's
hell
the
nah, yeah. You know what? Here's the thing. I know he's just doing that to hype up the potential future, but I'm just gonna be real and 100% with you. Ain't not a goddamn person gonna hold that title longer than Roman Reigns, and even if they do, it ain't gonna be by a whole lot. If
Only
they
reason
do,
why all these records matter.
Yeah.
fan
They say
patience,
no
especially
one
with the
will ever
internet, has
match
been worn.
Undertaker's undefeated.
That
streak at
patience is so
WrestleMania.
short now.
I hope there is someone out there
Yeah.
that disagrees, because if not, then no one will try.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I love that. I love that. But for my money, you're the greatest of all time, man. This weekend, I don't care what you say. I'm giving it to you.
I don't care what you think. It's like, I don't care what you say. I love you.
that's what's great about WWE. It's everyone is entitled to have
opinion.
And if I sit down with a different person, they might lay into me in a different angle to be like, this is why you suck. So that's what's great about this. I really appreciate
Yeah, wrestling
the
is
time.
very
I
all
can tell by
opinionated.
questions
That's
how
the great
thoughtful
thing
they
about
were.
entertainment. Like, there is no
you have done your
defined.
homework, and I want to thank your
Well,
family
you
for
do,
being
you do
here.
know that one guy that works with me at the UFC, he says, well, if you would do your homework, maybe you would know what you're talking about. One of the guys that works with me. So while you take care of your coworkers, those guys at the UFC don't, man. They told me I don't do my homework, so I'm glad you said
You
that.
have absolutely. I feel it's an honor to talk to you. Thank you so much for the questions. I will say this is such a big weekend for us.
Oh, it's so big.
It's a
Heck yeah,
pleasure to
man.
have you here.
I'm ready.
And man,
I'm ready, man.
WWE is all about family. So when I see you here with your family, and you can share with me, like, these are memories that my kids have.
Yeah.
Regardless of who wins, who loses, what we accomplish, what we
Better
don't.
goddamn win, man. Triple H, man, make the decision, pull the trigger, bro. Hit that red button that everybody else in your position might have been afraid to hit, bro. Even though a good bit of people
That is
rooting
the
Cena,
core of
you
our
know.
business, and that's what we do, man.
I'm just saying, hit the
You
red
are the
button,
man,
you know.
and
Pull the
your
trigger on
career after
that.
you're done is going to be even bigger than ever.
So, if I could end with this, if I have a career after this is over, cool. If I don't, I've had 25 years in the sports entertainment business. My life is good.
You're the man. John Cena this
Shoot,
weekend.
man, life is
Sunday,
good.
Wrestling
You know that
Cody
from,
Rhodes.
Future.
17th title on the brink.
Heck yeah, man.
Thanks, man.
John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. We ready. Sorry for this goddamn light. I don't know if I'm going to turn it off or not when I turn on the stream for WrestleMania's live stream. I don't know. But anyway, at the end of the day, what can I say? It is what it is. One's going to be this project. Continue to come out with content, visions, bangers, and will again be live streaming WrestleMania. And follow all these socials. As you see down below, I will be posting the clips for my reactions and actually like line them up where you see my reaction and what I'm watching. I'll be lining up the clips and posting them to my TikTok and not this Instagram. It's the same name except there'll be an underscore after it. That's why I'll upload all the clips from or clipping my reaction, posting it on that specific YouTube channel. It's the same name as this, but except there's an underscore after it. But love and appreciate you guys. Again, streaming WrestleMania today, as it is less than an hour until WrestleMania. I'm going to be pumped. I'm going to be ready. And I'm going to be doing my thing and doing it well. Love and appreciate you guys. I shall see y'all in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe before you go. And we're going to keep doing our thing and doing it well, man. That is the vibe that DJ's on.